What's going on, guys? Today I'm doing a song by Foo Fighters called February Stars. We're going to do a lesson of it today. The first thing I want to do, as I always do, is tune up. And for any beginners who might not be familiar with the drop D tuning, kind of gives you a chance to tune up to me and play the song. So the tune up, and we'll do the lesson after that. First string is D. Second string is A. The next string is D again. Fourth string down is G. Okay, next string is B. And the last string is a high E string. Alright guys, let's jump into it. Alright guys, alright, so how I play that song, it's two different guitar parts. That's the first thing to know. If you want to play it as a single guitar player, you can combine, mix and match, etc. So let's start out with what I believe Dave Grohl is playing on the track. So first of all, he starts out with this chord here, which is an open D string. It's the 7th fret on the G, 8th fret on the B, and the 5th fret on the high E string. So play those together. Alright, so that's the beginning chord for the song. Next chord is very similar. You're moving your pinky here from the 8th fret to the 7th fret. All right, the third chord is similar to this second chord. You're going to move your, what I'm using my ring finger here, you're moving that back with your middle finger now to the 6th fret. So when you play this third chord, it's best to not let the D ring out, just play the last 3 strings. And go to the next chord. So the 4th chord is 7th fret on the G string, 8th fret on the B, and 7th again on the high E string. This time go ahead and play the D string open as well. You're going to move this position, you're going to move it back 1, 2, 3 frets. So now you're starting on the 4th fret of the G string. Now go back to that same, the 4th chord I believe it was, go back to that chord. And now you're going to go to the 2nd chord. So that's the entire verse right there, and matter of fact, that's pretty much every riff that Dave Grohl plays on this track. Let me play it together. Alright, so the only progression that is different from the verse and the bridge and everything is the chorus that he plays. Or I guess it's a chorus, I'm not sure what it is, but it's the next riff, and it starts on the 9th fret of the D string, 7th fret of the G, and 7th of the B, and then an open high E. See, I'm almost when I play it, I'm playing an arpeggio, starting with that low string, that D string, go into the G string, go to the B, go back up to the G, and then you hit the high E. And then you hit the B and the G again. Use that same pattern on this next chord, which is the 7th fret on the G, 7th fret on the D, G, and B strings. And then the 3rd chord in this progression is going to be the 7th fret on the A string, 6th fret on the D, 7th fret on the G, and 7th fret on the B. For this arpeggio, I'm just playing the A string, let it ring out for a minute, and then play the D, G, B, E, walk back up, B, G, D. Okay, for the next progression, or the next chord, it's a 5th fret on the D string, 7th fret on the G, and 7th on the B, and an open high E. In this progression, this arpeggio is the same as the 1st and 2nd chord. Now, if you didn't get that, I'll demonstrate again. That's the D string, G, B, G, E, B, G. Alright, next chord's a little tricky. Try to slide with your pinky here from the 5th over to the 7th, from the 7th over to the 9th fret. You're going to play the 7th fret on the D string and the B string, G string. Can't get my string straight. And then open B and open E. So I'm playing that A string, D string, G string, D string again, then E string, B, G. Then we're going to play the same chord we did the very last chord of the first part. I guess it's A, B if you want to A, B it. It's a better way to explain it. So that last chord here is the 7th fret on the A string, 6th fret on the D, 7th on the G and the B, and open high E. So together. And the last chord is just another D major chord. It's that open D string, 7th fret on the G and the B, and the 5th fret on the high E. Alright, so now for the next part of the song. This is just Dave Grohl's guitar. The next part of the song, which is where it gets heavy, heavy distorted. It's going to be, let me just demonstrate it first. So it's the same thing as the verse, but you have this little intro piece, and you're playing that first chord, but you speed it up. You play that second chord, and now you're playing this different chord. It hasn't been played yet. It's the 7th fret on the G string, 5th fret on the B and E. And you're playing that open D as well. Play that second chord again. Now go back to the first chord. And you're just playing it standard from here. Okay. Now while that's going on, there's also another guitar that's just doing arpeggios, and it's a clean guitar. It's not even distorted. It's just going. It's mimicking this beginning. So etc. Now let's try to do Pat's guitar really fast. It's his is a little bit. It's a little bit different than what Dave plays. So in the beginning, he is playing, his chord starts out with the, right here, along with this one. But what he's playing is he's barring the 5th fret with his index finger, all of the strings, and then he's playing the 7th fret on the A and 7th fret on the G, and he's playing the whole thing. Then he plays that second chord. Now he's going to bar the, I believe he's barring the 4th fret on the all of the strings, and having your pinky on the 7th fret of the D string. Now when you play this chord, I'm only playing the top 4 strings. Now I move it over to the 5th fret, bar it. It's going to be the 7th fret. I'm playing the 7th fret on the G string and the 8th fret of the B string, playing all the strings. Move that over to the 2nd fret. Back to the 5th fret. 2nd chord. Okay. All right. The next chord progression is it's going to be a B minor. You just take your index finger and unbar it from the 2nd fret. Now you play an E chord. Now you hit the open D string and slide from the 2nd, quick slide from the 2nd to the 5th fret. This is a G major. Now a D major. Back to the E major. So that is going on while Dave is playing the this riff. Okay, so that's what Pat plays, I believe. And when it gets to the heavy part, it's basically the verse again, but it's just played heavy. So it goes. It has that open D. It ends with that riff. It ends up with that riff, but it ends on a D chord. So I think it's played like this. Yeah, that's right. He plays that E chord, and then he plays a D chord. Just kind of vamps it for a little bit. And he hits the bottom strings. And now he's going to play this this chord here. He plays the 5th fret on the E string, A string, and D string. Moves that 5th fret on the E string back 1 fret. 2nd fret now. Open. The whole time he's also playing the other 2 strings on the 5th frets for the, it's the A and the D string, 5th fret. Then he goes to the verse, the chord that he plays. The only difference here with the heavy part is when he plays this chord, after this he walks it down to the 2nd fret. Okay, that's the first time around. The second time around, when he plays this chord, I'm sorry, the 2nd chord, he walks up to the 4th fret, starting on the low D string, or D note, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 4th fret. Okay, so that's it for Pat's part. It's a little complicated. I didn't really have a lot of time to explain it, but because my camera has a limited amount of time. But if you guys have any questions on any part, I'd be happy to explain it on the channel page or even just the video page. So thank you guys for watching.